What's up? Sawtooth Dave. Happy Easter, everybody. Well, see them all spread out here. I got most of what I own here, so figured why the fuck not? Might as well do a collection video. So, start with the namesake. This is the original Sawtooth that pretty much sucked me in. I had a couple before this one, but this is the one that beaten, bruised, but still kicking it. I'm trying to go through these kind of quick, but there's like 50 knives here, so we'll do as quick as possible anyhow. This one's never going anywhere. This one's definitely staying. If you hear crunching, I got a dog over here and a dog back over here, both chewing on bones to kind of keep them quiet somewhat, I guess. All right. Lancelot leather. I had to put it out there because Stevie's flexing on his new stuff, and I thought it looked cool as shit. I figured I'd go ahead and break my little piece out too. And that other piece of leather is just a piece of leather. This is the Sawtooth I made the scale, the back spacer for. Acid stone wash the blade. You might have seen this on Steve Scotch and things. It's a little blim right here where it's a stone but needs to be acid stone washed. So I'm gonna acid stone wash this one again. Might sell this one. So Steve asked about it first. I'll let him have first dibs on it, but I'm gonna re-acid wash the blade first. If Steve don't want it, I'll probably put this one up for sale. These two are definitely gonna be for sale. This one came to me with a hole on it. I ended up making a titanium thumb stud. I just redone the blade and acid stone washed it so you can see the blade. It kind of sort of needs a better edge, but if you're down with the edge like it is and you want to do your own edge, let me know. This is going to be up for sale pretty soon here. Actually, I'll call it for sale right now. Another one. I haven't done anything this one. Sorry, left-handed here. I think Fanatic Edge did all the work on this one. You see this is a laser, but I don't know what kind of finish that is on that rest of it. It's pretty badass. This one just got back from Brian Thrasher. Let him and Stevie check this one out. It's for sale. Hit me up on Instagram if you guys are interested in them Sawtooth. Alright, so that's the 4 basically namesakes for the channel. So I don't know where to start on this. So I guess we'll start basically with well, I'll call it second string knives, okay? So my second string knives. TR3 lefty. This is the only Pro-Tech I got. You can see it's been used, abused, beat up. Cool knife. I just can't see myself parting with it. I don't know why. I don't really carry it much anymore, but it's still a cool knife. I've had it for a long time, so I figured we'd just keep that one along. This one is the Knife Rights raffle, the one I won. So this one was actually gifted basically from Knife Rights, Doug Ritter himself. I got Lefty signature still in a little box, so this is the knife that actually won from that, and so I thought that was pretty fucking cool. So this one's staying forever too, just because of momentous occasion like it was. Now we're getting another knife that y'all see it for sale. Y'all interested in them? I gotta get some money for blade show and parts for motorcycles and stuff. This is Southern Grind Bad Monkey. This one's the carbon fiber. I don't have the tool to disassemble it, but Southern Grind Bad Monkey. It's a cool liner lock for what it is. Quickly. EXO1 4-inch drop point. I dig this knife, but the problem with most of this knife is it's front bias big time. So when you're holding it in the handle, it just wants to drop basically like this. But as far as like a cheap button lock, and I know everybody's all into the button locks now, but man, it's an awesome freaking knife. Love it. It's also for sale. Let me know if you want it. This one I got, I don't know, not that long ago, and I think I did the video not long ago when I lapped the pivot area and made it a little smoother. Worked out good. I think the guy named Chris that sold it to me. He sold it to me for a good price. I'm gonna relay that same price to whoever wants it. There was a dude that hit me up saying he had a skirmish before and he was still interested in getting another one. You watch this, dude, hit me up. I'll give you first dibs on it because you already asked about it. Anybody else wants it? If that dude doesn't want it, hit me up. It's not trying to be a for sale video. It's just as we're going through here, I'm just gonna say what I need to say. Right on. All right. Once again, second string Bruiser. This is one that we could actually beat the shit out of. Everybody knows this one. This is a Cold Steel 4MAX American made version. It came with that little tab welded on top of it. And what I did was just kind of smooth it over and kind of make it flow a little bit more. You know, misplacements of words there. What do they call that? Freudian slip. But it works. It does do its thing. I don't know. I hadn't removed it yet. I don't know if I will or not. It kind of does its thing. This is what I would consider the beater of the Bruisers. So that's what I'm gonna say anyhow. I don't know why this thing started shaking all of a sudden. I don't know if I hit it or something. I don't know. Hopefully I didn't fuck y'all up too much. Anyway, this is the only cold steel in the collection. At least it's the American-made version. So I've done other videos on this, but this is the Boker Pipsqueak. It's also a Neil Blackwood design, same as that skirmish. Basically, what do you call it when you get ready to get married? Oh, I know why it's shaking. The puppy's chewing on the bottom of this thing. Hang on one second. Let me move the puppy. Hang on one second. Hey, let me move you over here for a second. Let's show the people. Let's show the people for a second. You want to say hey to the people? Say hey, people. What's up, peoples? All right. There you go. Sorry, she's on the bottom of that tripod leg, and that's because I noticed the camera starts shaking. All right, so we did the Boker. I don't even remember what this spider coat is called. Does anybody remember? This is kind of like a little spoof thing. I got this from my wife not long ago. I actually got it from OCD from ECD, whatever. OCD for EDC. There we go. I'll spit it out in a second here. Justin, I got it from him in one of his sales. I can't remember what it's called. Poochie, maybe? It was basically because we work in a small animal industry, so, or field, whatever you want to call it. This one was like an old one, so this Sog Bluto. All these are my wife's. These little small guys that were going over right here. You definitely wouldn't see me carrying one of these, but not, I don't know. I shouldn't actually say it because I got that little knife right there that I like a lot too. I'll go over it in a second. This is Sog Bluto. It's a pretty cool knife for what it is, but you know, it's outdated. This was cool, like, I don't know, 10 years ago. This is my little knife that I like. An American-made DPX Hest. I dig this thing, man. It's a cool little knife. More of a fidget knife than an actual user, but man, sitting in the car, we don't have to worry about hitting the steering wheel or your passenger and just sitting here flipping in the traffic, keeping your mind right. I like this knife a lot for that, but I do use it. It's a cool little knife. It's got a little beef to it too, so cool for a little knife. Okay, we're gonna dive into the ZTs, and I'm gonna save all the Bruisers here for last because I like the Bruisers the best. Y'all know that, right? Oh yeah, by the way, the non-American knives, let's see, everything we've touched so far has been American, except for the three that I just showed from my wife's, and that's German, I think Taiwanese, and I think that's Japanese. So whatever, everything else here is American as far as I'm remembering. I don't see anything else not. Okay, we'll go with it. Actually, before we go into ZTs, let's do the Hinderers. Y'all cool with the Hinderers? All right. So XM24 Sponto. I dig this one. Eclipse Harpoon Tonto, right? Poon Tonto. I guess this is a kind of a rare one to get. It's a cool knife. I don't know if it's a keeper for me, but it's a cool knife. XM18. I guess I call that slasher grind, right? I dig it. This is probably my favorite XM18 that we got. It's the wife's Eclipse. I don't know. What do you call that one? Spanto? I don't know. Whatever the hell. I don't know. I can't keep up with all the blade shapes. You Hinderer guys just got too many damn options for me. It's like the Harley Davidson of knives. You can get anything you want for them. Case in point, all the hardware that's in hers and hardware in here. Like, you can get anything for these things. Aftermarket, or this is her other one. The Battle Blue XM. It's a cool one too, but I like the black one better. I'm just more partial to the black, but that's her XM as well. All right, so that pretty much got the ZT, I mean the Hinderers. We're gonna go and move on to the ZTs. A lot of these I got double of, man. Let's do the singles first. Let's do the singles. So this one probably, I've always wanted them, but I see Steve Constantine got one, and actually a dude that he knows ended up hooking me up with this. I did change the clip to this, and I'll go over where the other clip that came off this went, but this has that titanium clip. It's kind of like a goldish color. It kind of goes with some of the writing here and kind of the shade of the carbon fiber, and it's a little lighter. The other one was a mill clip. Like I said, I'll go over where it went in a second here. But this 804 model in general is like one of the ones that, like, man, it's just a super slick model. The only thing that I guess from different from modern standards is that how far over you got to go before it starts falling, like past the detent. But once it passes that detent, it's gone. It's a sweet knife, super lightweight. Not really what I would consider on paper my kind of knife, but in hand, it's a sweet knife. I dig it. This is 804 CF. I can't remember what the hell this one's called. Let's see if I can see it in the camera here. 566 maybe. Okay, it's a little guy. It's got the carbon fiber on it as well. I believe I got this one from Grady's Gear, if I'm not mistaken. Pretty sure this came from Grady's Gear. 562. This is the full tie. It's just have it to have it at this point, man. Like honestly, it never gets carried. Maybe that 566 here. Neither one of those really get carried. 308. It's the same kind of thing. It's just to have. It's just a CT. I'm just not fond of the contour scales. You guys, as you may or may not know, this contouring, most people like it. I hate it. I absolutely can't stand it. Anyway, 308 Tiger Stripe. I got it. It sits in the safe. I never use it. This one used to be pretty much a daily. We carried it for a long time, the 630. You can see it's got a fair bit of wear and tear on it. Not horrible. Aftermarket scale. I don't know who made the scale. I want to think somebody handmade it, but I don't really remember. Cool knife. I used to carry it all the time. Almost never carry it now. It's sad because it's a really fucking cool knife. I don't know. I've got a lot of other cool knives. I don't carry it that much. 920. Everybody raves about how good this knife is. And this one I got kind of a little bit cheaper because it's got some funky stuff done on the blade there. I don't know who did it. If it was done by a professional or amateur or whatever, but I know this was done by a retailer. I can't remember who it was. Somebody probably does. I never was impressed with this knife, man. The contouring of this just makes it too thin for me. Never gelled with me. I got one to have one. I don't know. I don't really care too much about it either, but it sits in the safe, does its thing, which is nothing. 095 black wash. I love the black wash, man. So any ZT in black wash, I'm a sucker for it. I just like their black wash a lot. Yeah, this is pretty much one that my wife carries on occasion, but I almost never carry this thing. It's a cool knife, just not compared to what I like to carry. It's not really what I like. I want to say 393 on this one. ZT 393. Oh, was it 393 with the glow in the dark scales or whatever else? Same thing with this one. Like with all the pretty much most of the 562 and the 393, like I'm not gonna carry the ZT if I got the actual Hinderer to carry. That's just how I think about it. Maybe I'm just highfalutin that way. I don't know. So we'll go back to classic ZTs, and here we're getting into the doubles now. So I'm gonna assume that most of you guys know what the 560 and the 561. The only difference is the scale color, but the classic ZTs. This is what kind of started it all. And for me, same deal on these contour scales. Kind of ruin it for me. I like the knife overall, but man, this is that contour scale I just cannot stand. Both these are good knives, just not past. Just for me, it's just, I don't know, not my thing anymore. It used to be all about ZTs. This is the ZT that probably for me is the best ZT for what I like still. So this is both 550s. You see both these wearing different scales. As the stonewash and regrind on this one. This is how the scale that I made. This I got off a different knife, another 550, but I put it on this one. I think this one had orange G10 on it, and an orange G10, I don't know, over travel stop or something. I can't remember, but either way, like you can see that they're both 550s, both cool knives. This one in particular, this is my kind of knife right here. For a little small knife like that, oh yeah, this is my kind of knife. Out of all the ZTs I got, this is probably my favorite out of all of them. It's the closest. I can't say favorite. Okay, second favorite. Best thumb stud knife. This is my favorite thumb stud knife. Now, I can't remember the number of this guy. 462? Is that right? Yeah, 462. So I got this one. I think this is done by the same person that did that other 920 that I showed you a while ago, but I could be wrong. This is the, I don't know, the sand black wash version. Here's the regular one. These knives look funky, but when you start playing with them, they're actually pretty fun to play with. And these get carried occasionally, but not very often, but definitely cool knives. And then they've got the 801s. So this is the full tie stonewash or whatever, and this is the black wash. Same thing, basically. I dig them. I think access to lock bar could improve this knife a lot if they would have given more access to it. My fat fingers can't get in there all that well, but there you go. Got those two as doubles. Moving on down the doubles train. I'll save this one last. Probably my second favorite thumb stud knife is the 850, and there's the blue and the black. So I got both these suckers too. These are cool little knives too. I like to use these as kind of like backup so beside my wallet because they're so light. They're just really cool knives, man. I dig them. Dig both of them. The blue one actually probably has better action, but the black one visually is more my jam. All right, so these I actually have 3 of. If you guys don't know who Mitch Bowling is, he's got a YouTube and Instagram. He just did a video last day or 2 on my other ZT where I blasted the blue off of the one that he has, but it's all pretty much the gray like this. So I have that one. This is what we'd call my wife's. Like I said, that we call my wife's. They're really all mine. She knows it too. And then the black wash version of it. This is where the 804 clip came in. So you see the normal ones like that spring clip or whatever else, but I threw the 804 clip on this one, and I just think it makes it so much cooler. You guys that have these 0456s, so when you flip the other one, let me see if I can turn it around backwards so you can see, you kind of add a hold in this little relief and flip it. It kind of works good that way. You can kind of get in there. But with this milled one, it gives you something really good to bank your hand on. You can actually bank 2 or 3 fingers on that. So it makes it way easier to manipulate on the flipper. For me, I got big ass hands, so I wear 2XL gloves if you guys don't know. I ain't trying to brag, I'm just telling you. So this mill with the mill clip is the shit to me. It's badass. I love it. One of the best mods I did. And it was actually by accident because when I got that, when I got this one, it had that clip that I put on the 804 on it. I hated that clip on this because it actually hung out, went past the scales, which I can't stand. This one does just a hair. I don't know if you kind of can see that. Just a hair hangs out. But not bad enough to affect it. Especially I'm not back here anyhow, so it's fine to me. I like it. All right, done with the ZTs, on to the Bruisers, or kind of easing into the Bruisers here. So, might part with this one. If someone really wanted it, they might could offer me money for it. I might could take it. Just saying. F3. This is the old Warrenclyffe large size with no milling on the inside, no lock bar, insert, none of that crap. This is the old one. I dig this knife. I just don't find myself carrying it much. It's mainly because this is kind of in between what I would consider a small lightweight knife and what I consider a bruiser. It's still a really, really cool knife, man. Dig it. Just don't know if I was keeping it in my permanent collection or not. So once again, Steve had asked me about this knife probably before anybody else did. So I'll probably give him first crack at it if he's interested in it. But F3. Spartan Harsey. This is all the DLC. This is the other one I lapped. I might sell this one too. Someone really wanted this one. Hit me up. I might part with this one too. I don't know. So anyway, Harsey, full size, obviously. Oh yeah, the other non-American made one would be this one, ADV. This is South African made. I dig this knife a lot. I don't know. It's kind of the closest thing to a Chinese knife, and the action on it some days really agrees with me, other days it really disagrees with me. So, you know, the people that don't like the drop shut, this is about as drop shut as you can get as far as I've ever handled anyhow. This is nasty, man. Like, you better get your finger out the way. It's quick. As soon as you pass that detent, it's gone. It's coming down. So it's a good fidget knife, I guess. I like how it's blocky, and I always call this one the Terminator because it's the Tanto 2 anyhow, so T2. I don't know, kind of always. This one. This is a really cool knife. I dig it. It's just a, you know, I guess kind of a unique piece. I may part with this one. I don't know. Someone really wanted it. Made me offer on this one. I might part with this one. Maybe. Okay, easing into the Bruisers now. So, because we just showed that one's pretty much almost the same. This is a newer one. Yeah, for like a few days. So, this was why I love the knife community so much. This is a DSK GF2 Tonto, and this is basically I don't know, I think his name is JC. He might have commented once or twice on a YouTube video, maybe not even then. I don't know. I don't know. He lives not far from me, and I don't know if he got hard up for money or whatever, but he hit me up on Instagram. Was like, hey man, I just got one, you might be interested in it, and he showed me a picture of it. I was like, definitely interested in it. And gave it to me for a steal of a price, below maker's price, which is insane, man. This thing is pretty much new. And you can see it's the oxidized blade. It's just super gorgeous. Contrary to that Crusader that I showed you guys last week, this is a Bruiser that's also super refined. The detent's on point, man. And action is just, oh, it's phenomenal. This is a badass knife. I didn't think I'd have anything to overthrow the kickstand, but I think this one's number one right now in the collection. This is just a sick, sick knife. This is just all my style all the way. I love this knife. I'm gonna feel bad for beating the shit out of it, but I'm gonna use the shit out of this knife. So while we're talking about it, DSK, this is the Damascus blade. You can see it's got tons of wear in it. Some of it scratched already came from me. My pocket clip's on this one, so not his pocket clip. And it is money. This thing is sweet. I think in the past I had said something about it not being centered, but it's centered as shit. Hard as hell to see in the video, but it was an issue with bearings. I figured it out, and then it's money now. All right, easing into the Striders. Kind of sort of the recent acquisition, the J2. This one gets a lot of pocket time. Like aside from the Sawtooth, this is probably one of the best workhorses I got. Like this is just, I don't know, for what I do with my knives, I dig this knife. It just really kind of gels with me, man. We all have those knives that kind of just hit home and really dig. This is one for me I really dig. This is the classic version of that same Strider SMF. So this is original, before they even marked the blades what steel they were. This is a Strider SMF Tonto that's been reground, and then also the chevron scale came out of the, I guess, next gen of SMFs. But we had this one for years, like probably at least 10, maybe longer than that, years. So we had this SMF. It's a cool SMF. It's basically to have an SMF. Honestly, I never carry it. I don't think my wife really ever does. It lived in the toolbox for probably 5 years, so it would only be used in the toolbox. You know how I could go through knives. Sometimes they gel with you, sometimes they don't. I will have to say the same thing about this. This is the Strider AR 3/4 or 0.75, what do you want to call it? Dig this knife. It's got the frag. I think Anthony Griffin did this frag, but I'm not 100% sure. And that kind of bronzy scale or whatever else. Dig this knife. It's a cool knife. It's kind of weird because sometimes it'll be enough knife for me. Other times it's really not. So it's still big and beefy. It's just like, I don't know. It's hard to describe this knife. It's just unique, I guess. So it's kind of a middle size. I'll call it a middleweight for me. I know it's probably super huge for most people, but I call this a middleweight for me. So because this one was made by Medford, let's go through the Medfords. All right, we'll start with the whites. I think this is the Victorian Swift. So it's not super thin. It's not the thinnest, but it's not the thick either. It's on bearings, and it's beat up a little bit. This one came from Brass Brigade, Jason. She likes it. As soon as I saw it, I knew I didn't like it. It's just not my style. This one also came from Brass Brigade, Jason. And this is my infraction. Hardware changed. Pivot, collar, and hardware changed. I redid the washers on the inside and made the pocket clip. And I think I've already went over this enough times that you guys know what the hell this thing is. And also re-stone washed the whole thing. Give it a little different look than everybody else's. That's my infraction. This is a knife that I go back and forth on. Some days, like today, I can't flip it and don't work for my hands. And other days, it just agrees with me. So actually, it just depends on the day, man. So some days I really love this knife. Other days, it just ain't my thing. Everybody see this one, the Omble. I heard this in quite a few videos, but this is probably one of the few knives on this whole table that I actually bought new. Very few of these I bought new, but Omble, DLC, American flag motif. It's a sick knife. We got this one Chuck Nunn face. This is a Marauder H, drop point, and 3V. Dig this one too. And I think under 25 minutes I got this thing done. Now there's probably more knives floating around. Actually, I know there's a few. So we already talked about my Crusader. Mike's got the Crusader. Cutty cuts. Hopefully he'll do a regrind on it. I got another knife. Probably gonna do a giveaway soon. So I bought a knife that I thought most people would like that, I don't know. It's not American made. So if you guys care about that, maybe I'll throw one of those American made ones in there for a good giveaway too. But I ain't really sure when it's gonna happen, but we got to crown a champ of the whole collection, right? So obviously most used, most abused, Sawtooth, right? Favorite current knife in the whole collection by far, the GF2. This thing is sick, man. If you guys never handled a DSK, closest thing I could tell you is like would be a Medford, but it's really different. It's still different than a Medford. It's just more, like if Medford itself was making the knife, it'd probably be more like this. Like this is what this knife is like. It's just so slick. Everything done on it is really fucking nice, man. I just, no other way to describe it. All right, so that's 25 minutes of me bullshitting my ass off. I guess I ain't bullshitting. I guess I'm just showing. How about that? 25 minutes of me showing my ass. So I'm gonna call it there. Hope you guys have a good week. Bullshit with you more next weekend. Later.